persons shy away from leadership. I don't want to be that one. I'm not called for the front line. But when you lean into the adventure of leadership, it's about inspiring persons. It's about helping persons become the best version of themselves, even at times when they never see it that it was possible. That's what leadership is about. Bold moves only. This is my bold move. So if that's for you, this is the journey. Stay with us and we'll see where it goes. We're going to lean into something that is my why starting point, what really caused this whole movement to take shape. We are moving through the region right now, developing and cultivating leadership conversations and building leadership communities with a simple purpose, a tagline. And we are seeing this tagline just taking shape all over. We are saying bold moves only, right? Sometimes I'll get a WhatsApp. I've done this, and the message after, bold moves only. And for me, Help I'm Called to Lead was my bold move. I remember sitting in a room years ago, went to Dream Camp with Luke Commoner, and he was really encouraging us to really lean into the thing that God placed us on here to do. And I remember at the end of a 2-day conference, I simply wrote one thing down: finish the book. This is my bold move. And today we're going to lean into a little bit about it, right? I remember when I was looking at the question of who would write the foreword, my wife and I were having conversations, and I said the only person I really want to lean into this book is Dr. Morgan, Dr. Peter Morgan, because he's a history maker in the region. He has done phenomenal work up and down the islands, birthed the entire movement in Jamaica, done work in all over. And I asked him, I said, Dr. Morgan, can you please read into this book? And when the foreword came back, I kid you not, I cried. It was so emotional because a person of his stature leaning in and seeing this, and that's where the imposter syndrome started to die in terms of validation. We'll talk about that as we lean into the chapters, right? I'm going to read a bit about it. He said, one of the most outstanding leaders of my generation, now deceased, asked a very pertinent question. Are we born leaders or are we made leaders? His answer, with which I concur, is that both are correct. We are born with the capacity to lead as designed by God, but we'll never lead effectively unless we are nurtured, trained, and honed to lead. But we may also add the caveat that leadership will never manifest until the opportunity presents itself and respond purposefully, decisively, and determinedly. There's something inside of us, and leaders know it. There's a yearning, there's a stirring. To some persons, they end up in positions that they are required to lead, but they never answer the call to lead. They never saw themselves as a leader. It wasn't something that they want to. As a matter of fact, for most persons who I see the leadership call upon their life, they actually shy away to the background. He went on further to say that about the book. He says this book is not only for the expert to read for personal gratification or for the graduate students to study for an academic degree. I remember one student, he actually referenced me in his paper, and my mind was blown about it, right? He says, I recommend it for this young, ambitious generation searching for a sense of purpose for his or her life, with a desire to discover why they were born and how they can find true fulfillment as leaders as they mature into adulthood. So if that's for you, this is the journey. Stay with us and we see where it goes, right? When I lead into this, the question in terms of why write the book, and my answer to it was very simple. I said, when asked what is the greatest deficiency in this world, my answer was simple: effective leadership. Every nation, generation, society, industry, and home are plagued by this phenomenon, often without the explicit awareness and the inability to address it. As a student of leadership, I've realized that there are two key contributing factors to this reality. First, the inability to diagnose leadership as a calling, as opposed to positional authority. Second, the lack of intentional development of leaders' potential long before it's ever needed. And I ask persons all the time, who taught you to lead? Where did your leadership training come from? A lot of persons, they only pick up formal leadership later on in life if they did a bachelor's in management or leadership or in their MBA. Most persons are exposed to formal leadership training late in their life. By that time, you've been under individuals who you do not want to emulate. You've actually encountered bad leaders or ineffective leaders. We talk about in terms of good and bad leadership in the book, as opposed to leaders that you want to follow. Leaders who inspire you, leaders who bring the best out of you. And that's what the journey of leadership is about. It's about uncertainty. I tell persons leadership is an adventure. It's a daunting one for those who are ill-prepared. When you are leading, you're in the spotlight. When you are leading, there's no hiding. They ask, when things go well, sometimes the leaders are overlooked. If a team is winning championships, scoring goals, they talk about the goal scorer. They talk about the midfield play. They talk about those guys. But let a team fall into a rut, they ask who's the coach. Anytime things are going bad with a team, they look for the leader and they place them under the pressure. And when they are winning, the leaders are sometimes the subtle ones winning in the back. And because of that, almost it's a skew. Person shy away from leadership. I don't want to be that one. I'm not called for the front line. But when you lean into the adventure of leadership, it's about inspiring persons. It's about seeing things that persons never saw possible nor manifesting itself. It's about helping persons become the best version of themselves, even at times when they never see it, that it was possible. That's what leadership is about. That's the journey of navigating through uncertainty. If there's no uncertainty, if there's no problems, if a clear pathway is forward, there's no need for leadership. We get good managers and we score. But anytime there's uncertainty, anytime there's chaos, anytime there's disruption, we need persons who are well prepared with leadership capacity to move organizations forward. So guys, this is the adventure. This is why this book is written. This is why these next chapters are being laid out for you. Join the adventure, guys. Let's go forward.